I hope you guys don't see anything crazy in the background. What's on my hand? Okay.
Falling. Oh, I fought so hard for you.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've sat down and filmed with you guys, but I'm excited to be back. I'm not gonna go too much on a rant or anything, but for some reason I notice when I film I have like a very anxious energy in all of my videos. Like I seem out of breath and like anxious because I kind of am like an anxious person, but I've noticed that like when I watch my videos, the way that I talk, I'm like very like and I don't know why, but people say it all the time, like when you film for some reason you get like really out of breath. Give me a second. Anyways though, welcome back to my channel. I filmed this video and I'm wearing a shirt. I filmed this video already, but in the video I feel like I was very like I was saying, out of breath and like anxious for some reason, and I couldn't relax and I couldn't really take the time to like read the questions. But I basically wanted to do the black girl tag. I've been following this girl. Her name is Tiana Empowers. Right now I think that she goes on Instagram by the name profit.tt, and she pretty much has a black girl tag that she's updated that she feels is a little bit more up to date and like recent and relevant, and the questions are a little bit more stimulating and things of that nature. So I really wanted to do it. So I also wanted to take the time to mention the page is called Our Noir, which is the page she runs. But yeah, this is Naya Monet's black girl tag. Let's get into it. So the first question is, how do you identify? I identify as a straight cisgendered woman, I guess. Nothing out of the ordinary, I guess. Yeah, there's not really much I have to say on that. Would you ever date outside your race? Now, I think this is a really interesting question, and I think it's a very like kind of cultural question, because what I've noticed is, for those of you guys who don't know, I am from California. I go to school in Savannah, Georgia. But I've noticed that like a lot of people in the South tend to be a little bit more hesitant about dating outside of their race. But for me, it's like no big deal. Like it's kind of more of an anomaly or more of a strange thing to see people date within their race with where I'm from. So like, yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, if the person that I fall in love with, if the person who makes me happy, if the person who makes me laugh, if the person who meets all of my standards happens to be a non-black person, then I would totally be open to that. The next question is, are you natural, relaxed, or text lax? I am currently completely natural. I sometimes occasionally will like perm my edges if I want like a specific like sleek look, but yeah, I'm natural for the most part. What is the highest amount you have paid for weave or braids? Great question. Now, I get braids a lot. I think it's honestly like my favorite style because my hair is so protected and it lasts for so long. And for those of you guys who don't know, I have short 4C hair. I have paid most for like braids. That's more so what I get. I don't really wear a lot of weave. I wish I did though, because there's a couple of like styles that I've wanted, but the most I've paid for braids is about $250. And they weren't even really what I wanted. They were singles, but they were still way too short. I wanted them to be like 10 times longer, but they just weren't long enough. But that's the most I've ever paid for any sort of hair. When did you big chop, or were you natural all your life? I was definitely not natural all of my life. I did the big chop. It was fall of 2016. It was my freshman year of college at Savannah State University, and I'm happy I did it. My hair was so damaged. It was so awful. It was like permed, but I stopped perming it because I kind of wanted to go natural. And so yeah, that's when I had like officially did the big chop and like went completely natural. Did you go to a predominantly white or black school? How has it shaped you? I don't know if they're talking about for university or for high school, but for high school, I went to a predominantly white school. I will say that it was a lot of other minorities because there were, but I would still say that it was a predominantly white institution. I live in the suburbs and it's mostly white people who live in my neighborhood. But for my university experience, I do go to a historically black school. So yeah, I definitely think that when I was in high school, being in like a predominantly white school, I felt as if there were other aspects of my personality and other aspects of my identity that I couldn't like really share in and experience with my peers. And that is kind of what prompted me and motivated me to want to go to the South and want to go and experience like the Black education scene or whatever. So yeah, that's when I decided to go to an HBCU. I've always known that I wanted to go to an HBCU because my mom, from the time that I was very young, would always tell me a lot about like colleges, and she would always talk to me about HBCUs, and like I would look at books, like my aunts would like get me books with like HBCU popular schools and all this sort of stuff. So I've always had it in my mind that I wanted to go to a you know, predominantly just black school or just a historically black school because I wanted that experience. I wanted to experience that culture. And I feel like it has definitely shaped me in a way in where I feel more attached to certain, you know, I guess struggles that go on. I've always had an attachment there, but now that I guess that I am seeing so many young black people come up and begin to make space for themselves and to represent themselves in places where, you know, it wasn't so common. It makes me very proud to be a part of a collective like that. And I really love my school. Like, I love my school. I really do. I don't show it a lot, but it's like internal. It's on the inside. I really do love my school, and I feel so blessed to be a part of it. Were you always confident wearing your natural hair? I'll be very honest. Since my hair was so damaged before, when it wasn't natural and it was permed, and it's the conversation I have with my mom all the time, my hair was so damaged and it was so messed up that I did not like it at all. I did not feel comfortable wearing it. And I feel like because of that, for the sake of me like just wearing my actual hair when I went natural, I had more of like an attachment to it because I would never wear my hair before. And I'll insert pictures of me when I had first at the big shop. I loved it. Like, I personally, a lot of people would tell me I had the head for it and all this sort of stuff. Like, I really loved being natural when I first went natural, and I wouldn't regret it. And I would say since then, like, I've worn wigs, but I have not had a weave since I went natural. And it's not even intentional. It's not even purposeful. Like, I haven't had a sew-in. I haven't had a quick weave. I have not had anything since I went natural. If I put something in my hair, it's usually a protective style. But like, I actually want to weave though. It's just weird. You already know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just like, it's like a conundrum. Like, I want to weave, but I want to wear my natural hair, but I need to do protective styles. Like, it's just a lot. So yeah, I would say for the most part, when it came to me actually wearing my natural hair, because like I said, when I was younger, I wasn't natural, I was pretty confident. I liked rocking it, and I didn't have anything to compare it to, so I was just happy to be wearing my hair. So I would definitely say I was. If there was anything you can change about how black women are perceived, what would it be? This is such a great question. In my last video, I feel like this was the one I kind of struggled the most to answer because I was so anxious. But I definitely feel that there are a couple of things that, like, I guess bother me about the way that black women are perceived, particularly within the media. For those of you guys who don't know, I am a communications major, so I pretty much study like mass media communications and the way it affects, you know, the audience and people and communities and collectives and all that sort of thing. And I definitely don't feel like black women are given the space or the liberty to be on a spectrum. And what I mean by that is, like, when you see a black woman in the media, you get this one sort of perception and this one sort of idea of who she is, and it's not always representative of who black women are. Personally, as for me, I don't feel like I fit the stereotypical black woman, maybe trope or something like that. Like, I don't feel like I fit that. But at the same time, I don't feel like that makes me any less of a black woman. And I've had people who are a part of my community kind of tell me like, oh, you're a whitewash, you're this and that. And you know, it's like, I wish that people were more open-minded to seeing a different sort of black woman. Like, as for me, I'm very awkward sometimes socially. I'm very like, I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit more reserved in certain areas. I'm a little bit more, you know, not that there's anything wrong or anything like an issue with people who aren't. It's just like, that's the only thing that the media ever really, dang, that car was zooming. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys, I just saw a car zoom past my window. That was actually scary. Okay. Yeah, I just don't feel like we really always get the liberty or the opportunity to express ourselves the way that we should, and whether that be artistically or just awkwardly, or you know, with whatever. I want people to see black women in every sort of setting, and for it to not just be one sort of black woman that gets perceived in the media, if that makes sense. But that's all the questions. I feel like I always think it's gonna be more, but it's not that many questions. They're pretty good questions. And like I said, I'll put a link down to the tag in the description box. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking about culture and things surrounding like black culture, so I definitely enjoyed it. Shout out to, I don't know how to identify her because she always changes her like her handles, but at profit.tt. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just really appreciative that she thought to update, you know, the tag and keep the conversation concerning like black women going, and continue to make sure that there is space for our blackness and our excellence and our beauty and our intelligence. So yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. If you're interested in doing this tag, like I said, I'll put it in the description box. I feel like I've said that a million times now. And I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about some of the questions. Sound off in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, I guess. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It'll help me out. And see you guys later. Bye.
1, 2, 3, funk it.
My darling, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.